Folks, buckle up because we're diving deep into one of the most explosive political and financial sagas of our time, the New York civil fraud case against Donald Trump, and I have to ask you right from the start, how did we get here, where a former president, a billionaire icon, is staring down the barrel of a judgment that ballooned to nearly $500 million, and why does it feel like the goalposts keep moving every time he fights back? Think about it. Years of investigations, a trial that gripped the nation, accusations of wildly inflated asset values on financial statements to snag better loans and deals, and now, as we sit here in early January 2026, the dust is supposedly settling on appeals that could rewrite the entire story. But is the mainstream narrative telling you the full truth, or are they still peddling that dramatic asset seizure imminent hysteria from years ago, like it's breaking news today? Let's unpack this with real questions that demand answers, because if we're talking accountability, it has to cut both ways. No selective outrage, no cherry-picked facts. Remember back in 2024 when the headlines screamed that Trump Tower 40 Wall Street, Mar-a-Lago, even golf courses were on the chopping block, that Letitia James was ready to pounce and seize everything if Trump couldn't post a massive bond. The media frenzy was non-stop. Trump's empire crumbles. No one is above the law. Rallies crying witch hunt, while others cheered poetic justice for alleged fraud spanning a decade. Judge Arthur Engoron dropped that initial hammer, finding liability for persistent fraud before the trial even fully kicked off, slapping on a penalty starting at $355 million that snowballed with interest to over $450 million, barring Trump from running New York businesses for years, and installing monitors to watchdog the Trump Organization. It felt monumental, didn't it? A clear message that even the most powerful could be held to account for misrepresenting valuations, tripling the size of his Trump Tower apartment, ballooning Mar-a-Lago's worth by tying it to non-existent commercial potential, all to paint a rosier, financial picture for banks and insurers. And the question that burned then, and still burns now, were these victimless exaggerations, as Trump claimed with his disclaimers warning everyone to do their own due diligence, or outright deception that cheated the system and enriched one family at everyone's expense. And the question that burned then, and still burns now, were these victimless exaggerations, as Trump claimed with his disclaimers warning everyone to do their own due diligence, or outright deception that cheated the system and enriched one family at everyone's expense. But hold on. Fast forward through the appeals drama, where Trump scrambled for bonds, first facing an impossible full amount, then getting it slashed to $175 million, which he posted to pause any collection while fighting uphill. But hold on, fast forward through the appeals drama, where Trump scrambled for bonds, first facing an impossible full amount, then getting it slashed to $175 million, which he posted to pause any collection while fighting uphill. Legal experts, on all sides, weighed in, some calling the original penalty punitive and unprecedented for a civil case with no direct victims complaining, others insisting it was justified to disgorge ill-gotten gains and deter future elite fraud. Trump's team screamed political persecution, James campaigning on getting Trump, a Democratic AG in a blue state targeting a Republican powerhouse, raising that thorny question in a polarized America. Can justice ever be blind when the players are this high profile? Or does it inevitably smell like weaponization, especially when similar valuation games happen in real estate all the time without this level of scrutiny? Trump's team screamed political persecution, James campaigning on getting Trump, a Democratic AG in a blue state targeting a Republican powerhouse, raising that thorny question, in a polarized America, can justice ever be blind when the players are this high profile? Or does it inevitably smell like weaponization, especially when similar valuation games happen in real estate all the time without this level of scrutiny? And why did banks like Deutsche keep lending happily, testifying they weren't fooled if the fraud was so staggering? Now, here's where it gets truly engaging, and I need you to really think with me, what happened on appeal in 2025 that flipped the script so dramatically that by August, a New York appeals court threw out the entire nearly $500 million financial penalty, calling it excessive and potentially unconstitutional. Yes, you heard that right. The monetary hammer, the disgorgement that was supposed to strip profits from the alleged scheme, gone, vacated, as if the appellate judges looked at the scale and said, wait a minute, this goes too far under the law. But they left some non-monetary bites in place, restrictions on business roles, oversight monitors. So is this partial vindication for Trump, proof that the original ruling was overreach driven by bias, or just a compromise that still brands him with fraud, while letting him keep the cash? And the bigger, stronger question blasting through my mind, if the penalty was deemed excessive enough to erase hundreds of millions, does that undermine the whole "no one is above the law" mantra, or expose how lawfare can be wielded to bankrupt opponents before truth catches up? Critics on the left will say the fraud finding stands accountability achieved through oversight and bans. Fair enough, but then why the sensational YouTube thumbnails still blasting seizures begin and empire crumbles as if we're back in 2024's bond panic? Is it clicks over facts, fear-mongering to keep the base fired up, or genuine disbelief that appeals worked? Is it clicks over facts, fear-mongering to keep the base fired up, or genuine disbelief that appeals worked? On the right, they're hailing it as total exoneration on the money front, proof of a rigged system corrected higher up. But if fraud was proven, even partially upheld, shouldn't there be some consequence beyond slaps on the wrist? And here's a question that should haunt everyone, no matter your politics. In a country where real estate valuations are as much art as science, where puffery is the name of the game, how do we draw the line between aggressive business and illegal fraud without opening the door to endless politicized prosecutions that could target anyone with enemies in power? Zoom out even further. What does this saga say about America in 2026? A former and possibly future president tangled in courts for years, resources drained on legal battles while the appeals process ultimately guts the biggest financial hit. Is this resilience of the system, where checks and balances prevail, or a warning that civil cases can be stretched to punish without criminal proof, chilling free enterprise and political dissent? So, let's zoom out even more. What does this whole saga actually say about America in 2026? I mean, we've got a former and possibly future president tangled up in courts for years, and so many resources drained on legal battles, while the appeals process ends up gutting the biggest financial hit. Is this, resilience of the system, where our checks and balances really do prevail? Or is it actually a warning that civil cases can be stretched out to punish people without any criminal proof? Maybe even chilling free enterprise and political dissent? If Trump walks away financially unscathed on this one, does it erode trust and accountability, or restore faith that overzealous pursuits get reined in? And, if Trump walks away financially unscathed on this one, does it erode trust and accountability, or maybe restore faith that overzealous pursuits get reined in? And conversely, if remnants like the monitors linger, does it set a precedent for government intrusion into private businesses based on disputed valuations? And conversely, if remnants like the monitors linger, does it set a precedent for government intrusion into private businesses based on disputed valuations? I really want you to wrestle with these questions the way I am, because this isn't just about one man or one case. It's about whether our justice system can actually handle these mega stakes without, devolving into a tool for settling scores. I want you to wrestle with these questions like I am, because this isn't just about one man or one case. It's about whether our justice system can handle mega stakes without devolving into a tool for settling scores. Was the original judgment righteous fire against deception or punitive overkill masked as justice? Was the original judgment righteous fire against deception or punitive overkill masked as justice? Did the appeal save fairness or let fraud off the hook? Did the appeal save fairness or let fraud off the hook? And most urgently, in an era of deep division, how do we ensure the law serves truth, not tribes? And most urgently, in an era of deep division, how do we ensure the law serves truth, not tribes? Drop your thoughts below. Do you see vindication, ongoing persecution, or something in between? Drop your thoughts below. Do you see vindication, ongoing persecution, or something in between? This story keeps evolving, and the real answers lie in questioning everything. Stay vigilant, stay engaged. Because if we don't demand balance now, who knows whose empire could be next? Stay vigilant, stay engaged. Because if we don't demand balance now, who knows whose empire could be next?